All right, let me paint you a picture of before. Susan and I. We were solid, not rolling in dough, but comfortable. I'm a project manager for a mid-sized construction firm. Steady, reliable work. Susan was a part-time librarian until our two kids, Sarah and Ben, flew the coop a few years back. Then she retired to, as she put it, pursue her hobbies and finally relax. Turns out her main hobby was competitive debt accumulation. We'd paid off our modest three-bedroom house in a decent suburb about 5 years ago. We had a respectable 401k, some savings, two sensible, paid-off cars. We weren't flashy people. Our big splurges were a family vacation every couple of years and maybe dinner out at a decent local spot once a week. The credit card in this disaster story was primarily mine. It's the one I've had for ages. Good rewards program, decent limit, or what used to be a decent limit before Susan treated it like an unlimited Willy Wonka golden ticket. She was an authorized user, had been for probably 15 years. It was intended for groceries, gas, the occasional Target run for household essentials. The bill came to my email. I'd glance at it, pay it off, month in, month out. Never an issue. We trusted each other implicitly. Or more accurately, I trusted her. That was my first mistake, apparently. It probably started about 3, maybe 4 years ago. Slowly, like a leaky faucet you don't notice until the floor's warped. More packages started arriving at the house. Amazon. Mostly. Little stuff at first. A new cookbook here. Some fancy yarn for her knitting phase there. A quirky kitchen gadget she saw on a morning show. I didn't bat an eye. Oh, just a little something I needed. She'd chirp. Or it was on a super sale, practically free. I'd just grunt. Uh-huh, nice honey. She seemed happy, busy with her new acquisitions. The credit card bill crept up, maybe an extra $150, $200 a month. I figured, okay, she's got more free time, she's enjoying a few little treats, no big. But little treats metastasized. The Amazon boxes became a daily fixture, often multiple ones. Then it wasn't just Amazon. Suddenly, boxes from Zappos, Sephora, QVC, HSN, Etsy, and a dozen obscure online boutiques with names like Boho Chic Living or Sparkle and Twine were piling up on the porch. Clothes, so many clothes, half with tags still on. Shoes, enough to outfit a centipede. Makeup, gallons of it, it seemed. Jewelry, mostly costume, but still, the sheer volume, and endless home decor items we had absolutely no space or need for. Our spare bedroom, once a guest room, began its transformation into a dragon's hoard of consumer goods. The garage was next. Susan, honey, I remember saying one Saturday, maybe 2 years into this slow-burn financial apocalypse, after navigating an obstacle course of unopened boxes to get to the coffee maker. Are we good with all this? The Visa bill was almost $1,800 last month. That's a lot for us, isn't it? Her reaction was immediate and defensive. A switch flipped. Mark, don't be so dramatic. I get fantastic deals. It's not like I'm out buying sports cars. And I barely get anything for myself anymore. Most of this is for the house, or things we genuinely need. We did not need a fifth decorative bird cage, or another set of artisanal soap dispensers. I'm just saying, I tried, keeping my voice even. Maybe we could dial it back a notch. Just be a bit more mindful of the budget. Mindful? She scoffed, her voice rising. I'm always mindful. I comparison shop. I wait for sales. I use discount codes. You make it sound like I'm some kind of irresponsible teenager. After all these years, don't you trust my judgment with our money? There it was, the guilt trip. The don't you trust me defense. And like a chump, I'd fold. Of course I trust you, sweetie. Of course, just, keep an eye on it. Famous last words. She did not, in fact, keep an eye on it. Unless keeping an eye on it meant identifying new retail frontiers to conquer, the deliveries became an avalanche. Sometimes I'd see her practically tackle the UPS guy on the porch, hustling packages inside before I could get a good look. If I asked, "Another one, Sue?" she'd get evasive and shifty. "Oh, it's just something for Sarah's baby shower next month." Sarah, our daughter, wasn't even pregnant. Or, it's a little something for your sister, Barb. Her birthday's coming up. Barb's birthday was 6 months away. Lies. A constant stream of little slippery lies. The bills kept ballooning. $2,500, $3,000, $3,500. I stopped being gentle. We started having actual sit-down serious talks, more like confrontations. Susan, this is out of control. We cannot financially sustain this. We are actively draining our savings account to cover these damn credit card bills, and that is not acceptable. Cue the waterworks. Always the tears. I just feel so isolated sometimes, Mark. The kids are gone. I don't have the library anymore. This is just a little retail therapy. It makes me feel good for a bit. Don't you want me to be happy? Emotional manipulation 101. My God, she was good at it. Of course I want you to be happy, Susan. But genuine happiness doesn't arrive in a cardboard box 6 times a week. We need a budget. A firm budget for this hobby. She'd nod, tears streaming, looking utterly contrite. You're right, Mark. You're absolutely right. I've been foolish. I'll be much more careful. I promise. Things will change. And for a week, maybe 2, the Amazon vans would give our street a rest. Then, like a stubborn weed, the packages would start sprouting on the porch again. She just couldn't or wouldn't stop. It was a compulsion, a hunger that could never be sated. The arguments escalated. They became more frequent, louder, and uglier. God damn it, Susan. Another $450 on that shit Country Comforts website. What in the hell is this stuff anyway? I'd find myself yelling, waving the highlighted statement, my hand visibly shaking with rage and anxiety. It was a limited edition quilt. It's an heirloom piece. It'll be worth more someday. She'd shriek back, her face flushed. You don't understand anything about appreciating quality or beauty. All you ever care about is money, money, money. I care about not eating cat food in a cardboard box when we're 70. Susan, this isn't quality, it's clutter. You wear maybe 5% of the clothes you buy. Half this makeup is still sealed in the original packaging. The spare room looks like a TJ Maxx exploded. One night, it hit a new low. I was going through the itemized bill online, something I'd started doing with dread each month, and found a charge for a designer handbag, a name I vaguely recognized from magazines Sarah used to leave around. It was $1,200. $1,200 for a damn purse. Are you certifiably insane? I roared. I'm not proud of how loud I got, but I was at my absolute breaking point. We could have paid our property taxes for the entire year with that amount. What were you thinking? It was an investment piece, she sobbed, collapsing onto the sofa. All my friends from the book club have nice bags. I just wanted to feel good about myself for once, to fit in. You're always criticizing me, always making me feel guilty and small. I was making her feel guilty? The sheer, unadulterated audacity of that statement left me momentarily speechless. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, Susan. I'm trying to drag you back to planet Earth. We are drowning in your investment pieces. That night, she decamped to the spare room, or as I'd started calling it, the mausoleum of misspent money. The air in the house was thick with resentment. I tried to regain some control. I wasn't naive enough to think she would. I suggested she get her own credit card, with a very low, manageable limit, and take her name off mine. She hit the roof. That is insulting, Mark. After 25 years, you're going to treat me like an irresponsible child who needs an allowance? How dare you? I suggested we go to financial counseling, maybe even therapy for her shopping. There's nothing wrong with me, she insisted, her jaw set. The only problem here is your constant obsession with every single penny. If you weren't so controlling and cheap, I wouldn't feel the need to buy things to cheer myself up. I actually tried hiding my credit card once. Found it in my wallet a week later. She'd just called the company, reported it lost, and they'd mailed her a shiny new one. The fox was guarding the henhouse, and the henhouse was on fire. The truly devastating reveal, the moment I realized the abyss was far deeper and darker than I imagined, happened about 9 months ago. I usually just paid the bill online. Log in, see the balance due, pay it. I rarely dived into the minutiae of, every single line item, unless the total was particularly egregious. Because honestly, who has the hours for that? But 1 month, the minimum payment due was astronomical, way beyond anything I'd ever seen. My stomach dropped, my heart started hammering against my ribs. With trembling fingers, I clicked to view the full statement details. Page after page of charges scrolled by, hundreds of them. Small ones, $27, $50 here, $49.99 there, from a bewildering array of online vendors. And big ones too. That $1,200 handbag wasn't an outlier. It had siblings. There were $600 shoes, $300 face serums, endless subscription boxes for wine, exotic coffees, curated cheese selections, artisanal dog treats. Our beloved Labrador Buster passed away 3 years ago, Susan. And then I saw them. Multiple entries, each labeled cash advance, each for several $100s, taken out consistently over the previous few months. What in the ever-loving hell is this? I whispered, the blood draining from my face. I confronted her that evening. I printed out the damning pages, spread them across the kitchen island like evidence at a crime scene. Susan, I said, my voice dangerously quiet, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside me. Explain these cash advances. Now. She went white, ghostly. I, I don't know what you're talking about, Mark. Don't you dare lie to me, Susan. Not about this. Not anymore. There are thousands of dollars in cash advances drawn on this card. Where did that money go? She finally crumbled. Not just tears, but racking, hysterical sobs that shook her entire frame. I got into a bit of online poker. She choked out between gasps. Just for fun, a little flutter. But then I started losing. And I thought I could win it back, so I just took out a little more. It just sort of snowballed. Online poker, gambling, on top of the pathological shopping. I felt like the wind had been knocked out of me. The quiet, sensible librarian I married, the mother of my children, was a secret online gambler and a full-blown shopaholic. The betrayal was a physical pain in my chest. How much? I asked, my voice flat, devoid of emotion. How much did you lose gambling, Susan? I don't know for sure, maybe 5 or 6,000, maybe a little more. $5,000 or $6,000, vaporized, gone, pissed away into the digital ether, added to the tens of thousands she'd already incinerated on stuff. I should have cut up the card right then and there. I should have called the bank, had her name struck off, frozen my credit, changed every password, but I was reeling, in profound shock, and some terminally stupid, hopeful part of me, the part that still loved the woman she used to be, prayed she'd see the chasm we were dangling over and finally pull back. She swore. Oh, how she swore. Oaths, on our children's lives, on her mother's grave. She'd stop everything. No more shopping, no more poker. She'd get help. She'd see a therapist. She cried, she groveled, she begged for forgiveness. I'm so sorry, Mark. I've been terrible. I'll make it up to you, I swear. I'll get a job. We'll fix this together. And like the world's biggest, most gullible fool, I believed her. Or more accurately, I chose to believe her, because the alternative was too devastating to contemplate. For a glorious few weeks, a fragile peace settled. No new packages cluttered the porch. She actually started looking at job listings online, though nothing ever materialized. I'm overqualified for that one, or the commute is just too far, or it's not really the right fit for my skill set. Excuses. Then, about 3 months ago, I got a call. An unknown number. It was the credit card company's fraud department, or so I thought. Mr. Henderson? This is Linda from Omnicard Services. We're calling regarding some unusual activity and a significantly overdue balance on your Visa signature card. Overdue? I echoed, a cold dread seeping into my bones. That can't be right. I just made a substantial payment last week. Yes, sir, we did receive that payment. However, the current outstanding balance on your account is $68,070.42. Your credit limit, as you know, is $25,000. You are significantly over your limit, and several recent payments have been insufficient to cover the accrued interest and fees. $68,000 and change. I nearly dropped the phone. My vision swam. I had to grip the edge of my desk to stay upright. How, how is that even possible? I stammered, my voice a strangled whisper. It appears there have been numerous charges over the past several months, sir, and the interest charges and overlimit fees have compounded considerably. After I managed to hang up, I felt like I was going to be sick. I fumbled my way onto the banking website. She hadn't stopped. Not for a single goddamn day. She'd just gotten sneakier, smaller, more frequent purchases from a wider array of obscure websites. Probably hoping the individual amounts wouldn't trigger my alarm bells. She must have been making only the barest minimum payments using other funds I didn't know about, or just letting things slide, counting on me not to scrutinize the actual total balance beyond what the payment due notification showed. The interest rates on an overlimit card with cash advances are predatory. They're designed to bury you. I confronted her again that night. This wasn't an argument. This was a detonation. I have never in my 50 years on this earth felt such a volcanic eruption of rage, betrayal, and despair. $70,000, Susan. I roared, the number bouncing off the walls of our too quiet, too cluttered house. 70,000. Are you actively trying to destroy us? Is that your ultimate goddamn goal? To see us ruined? She actually had the gall to look affronted, to sigh with exasperation. Mark, you are overreacting as usual. It's not that bad. We can consolidate it or something. Lots of people have credit card debt. It's normal. Not like this, Susan. Not this much. Not through years of systematic lies and addiction. This isn't oops, we splurged a bit too much on that Alaskan cruise debt. This is, you looked me in the eye and lied every single day while you methodically demolished our financial future debt. Well, if you hadn't been so damn controlling and tight-fisted about money all these years, maybe I wouldn't have felt the need to hide it. She screamed back, her face contorted. Maybe if you ever paid attention to me instead of your stupid spreadsheets, I wouldn't need retail therapy. I just stared at her, dumbfounded. The absolute breathtaking, unmitigated nerve of it. The blame shifting was so audacious it was almost a dark art form. I'm done, Susan, I said, the inferno inside me finally burning down to cold, hard ash. I am so completely and utterly done. I walked over to her purse, pulled out her wallet, and extracted the credit card. She lunged for it, but I held it high, right there in front of her. As she shrieked and clawed at my arm, I called the credit card company. I told them to immediately remove Susan Henderson as an authorized user, to freeze the card, to block all further charges. She was screaming obscenities at me the entire time. You can't do this to me. It's my card too. I have right. No, Susan, I said, my voice eerily calm after I finally hung up. The plastic card feeling like a toxic object in my hand. It was always my name on the primary account. It was my credit score you've systematically torpedoed. I then took a pair of kitchen shears and cut the card into a dozen pieces, dropping them into the trash can with a sense of grim finality. That was 3 months ago. I'd been sleeping on the pull-out couch in the living room. The house is a mausoleum of unspoken accusations and bitter resentment. Susan alternates between bouts of furious rage, theatrical crying jags, and icy, punishing silence. She still doesn't seem to grasp the cataclysmic severity of the situation. She keeps making comments like, well, once we get this debt thing sorted out a bit, do you think I could get a new card just for small emergencies? Or just last week, I saw the cutest little summer dress online at Macy's. It's only $45, and I have a coupon. It's like conversing with someone from an alternate reality where consequences don't exist. Then, last Tuesday, the letter arrived. Official, menacing, certified mail, from a law firm representing Apex Debt Recovery Solutions, a collections agency I'd never heard of. The credit card company, Omnicard, had evidently washed their hands of us and sold off the massive debt. The letter stated, in chillingly unambiguous legal jargon, that if a satisfactory payment plan was not established or a significant lump sum payment made, within 30 days of the date of the letter, they would initiate legal proceedings to recover the outstanding amount. Lawsuit, wage garnishment, liens on our property, our paid-off house, the whole 9 yards of financial ruin. I handed it to her, my hand shaking. Her eyes skimmed the dense paragraphs. She shrugged. "Oh, they always send scary letters like that," she said, with a dismissive little wave of her hand. "It's just a tactic to frighten you into paying. Don't worry about it." "Susan," I said, my voice barely a whisper, trembling with a toxic cocktail of unadulterated fury and sheer gut-wrenching terror. "This is not a scare tactic. This is real. They are going to sue me. Because of you. We could lose the house, Susan. The house we raised our children in. Everything we've worked our entire lives for. Our retirement savings, what's left of them, gone. Wiped out." For the briefest flicker of a second, I saw something in her eyes. Panic? Maybe? But it vanished as quickly as it appeared, replaced by that familiar, stubborn, infuriating defensiveness. "Well, it's not all my fault, Mark. You're the one who always handled the finances. You should have paid more attention to the bills instead of just clicking pay." I didn't even respond. I just turned and walked out of the room. I couldn't look at her. I couldn't breathe the same air. So here I am, Reddit, 50 years old, staring down the barrel of financial annihilation, shackled to a debt I didn't personally accrue, with a wife who is either a pathological liar in complete denial, a narcissist incapable of empathy, or simply doesn't give a damn about the utter devastation she's unleashed upon our lives. I've had initial consultations with a credit counseling service and a bankruptcy attorney. Both paint a grim picture. The thought of bankruptcy at my age, after a lifetime of responsible financial behavior, makes me physically ill. I don't know what to do about Susan. 25 years of marriage. How does it all just evaporate in a cloud of Amazon Prime boxes and digital poker chips? Is the woman I married even in there anymore? Or was she a carefully constructed illusion all along? I feel like the world's biggest fool. Like I've been the star of a long con movie for years and was the last one to realize it. The trust isn't just broken, it's been nuked from orbit. The collections agency wants a concrete plan or a substantial payment. In roughly 2 weeks now. 2 weeks to stave off a lawsuit that could utterly destroy what's left of my financial life and my future. And Sue, this morning, no joke, she asked me if I thought the new fall collection at Talbot's was worth checking out online, because she saw an ad and they have some lovely cardigans. I swear to God, I almost laughed. It was so absurdly, tragically out of touch. So, yeah, happy 50th birthday to me. Any advice, Reddit? How do I navigate this minefield? How do I protect myself? And how do I not end up destitute and alone while my shopaholic wife wonders why her online accounts suddenly stopped working? TLDR, married 25 years. Wife secretly cultivated a massive online shopping and gambling addiction over the past 3 to 4 years, racking up over $70,000 in debt on my primary credit card. I only discovered the full extent when the collections agency sent a letter threatening a lawsuit to recover the funds. Wife is still in deep denial, blames me for not paying attention and thinks it's not that bad. Our financial future is in ruins. Our marriage is a wasteland, and I'm facing potential legal action that could wipe me out completely. I'm desperate. Edit 1. Holy cow. I stepped away for a few hours and came back to this flood of responses. Thank you all, sincerely, for the advice, the shared experiences, the empathy, and even the kicks in the pants. A lot of you are echoing what the little voice in my head has been screaming. Divorce lawyer, stat. It's a terrifying thought after so long, but the comments here are making me realize it might be the only way to salvage anything. Yes, I've frozen all joint accounts I could, changed every online password to our financials, and the original card is long since destroyed. The damage is done, but I'm trying to staunch the bleeding. Edit 2. Quick update for those asking. I had a follow-up, more detailed consultation with the bankruptcy attorney today. He laid out the grim options. He also strongly advised, given the circumstances and Susan's apparent lack of remorse understanding, that I consult immediately with a divorce attorney to understand how to protect any remaining assets, what little there are, and untangle myself legally and financially before any bankruptcy filing, if it comes to that. He said in our state, I might still be on the hook for marital debt, but a divorce decree could at least assign responsibility, It's a mess. Edit 3. The Susan Confrontation 2.0. Based on advice here and from the lawyer, I sat Susan down last night. No yelling, just cold, hard facts. I told her about the full lawyer consultation, the probability of bankruptcy, and that I was also meeting with a divorce attorney next week. I said, Susan, your actions have brought us to the brink of losing everything. I have to protect myself now because you've shown no ability or willingness to understand or rectify this. For the first time, I saw genuine fear in her eyes. Not defiance, not excuses, just raw terror. She actually whispered, divorce, like the word itself, was poison. She didn't say much else, just sat there looking like her world had shattered. Is it a breakthrough, or just fear of her gravy train derailing? I honestly don't know, but it's the first time she hasn't immediately blamed me. Small miracles, I guess. The next few weeks are going to be pure hell. Thanks again for listening, Reddit. You guys have given me more clarity than I've had in months.